preview.
Alright, can I have your attention, please? Please. How's everybody doing? Great. Can y'all just go on the other side, please? So that y'all can face me, y'all comfortable. Right, have everybody attention, respect is key. Right, so I'm Lorenzo Jr. Everybody calls me Zoe. I met Mada when I was in 4th grade. So I was about 9 years old. So I've known her a very long time. We've always kept in contact. If you have a person like this in your life, you have a person that really loves and cares for you. I'm 29 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I met her 20 years ago. You know, and she's still in my life. That's the kind of person she is. So I've always wanted to do this. Can everybody give Mada a round of applause, please? I know, you guys are young. Life is not that serious yet, but respect is everything, and I want you guys to respect yourself and believe in yourself. Please put your phone away, please. So, part of my story, I grew up on 158 in Brook. I'm from the South Bronx. My parents are from Honduras. So I'm Afro-Latino by way of Honduras. I've done a lot of things, seen a lot of things. My guy here, Benji, I'm a lot older than him, but our stories are the complete opposites. So I'm gonna show you one side, he's gonna show you the complete other side, right? But we met in 2012, and I was a camp counselor in Jersey. And I was the cabin leader, and he was one of the kids in my cabin, right? So that's 2012. Fast forward, he'll tell you his side of the story, right? So I'm gonna let him go first, and then we're gonna end it on a positive note.
My name is Benjamin, you heard? I go by Benji or whatever. So yeah, I know Zoe since 2012. That's like 10 years ago. And more or less 2 years after that, during that time we met each other in the camp, I was already waist deep into the street shit, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that y'all know y'all familiar with, y'all listen to all the music, all that stuff. I was in that. Before y'all heard of the K-Flocks and all the B-Loves or deep things, whatever y'all listen to, I was real life doing that before they was even thinking about doing that, you understand? 2014, 2 years after I was in that program with Zoe, the FBI started an investigation on my block. So I was 14 at the time. Fast forward 4 years later, they unsealed the indictment, I get wrapped up at the age of 18. So that's not that far from y'all age bracket. How many of y'all in here are 18? 18? Or around that age, 16. You got 16, you 17, right? So that's what I'm trying to say is that I've been down that road. At that time when I got wrapped up at 18, I was facing serious charges, not no 1 year in juvenile. I was in federal prisons, and the worst prisons you could think of in the US. You could Google them on your phones and look at how dangerous they were, and they still are. And at that time, I was facing 15 years to life. My case is public information. You can look it up. It's no cap. It's real life stuff. I was facing 15 to life at the age of 18. My lawyer sits there and tells me, listen, you 18 years old, I can get you 15 years flat. You 18, you could do it. You be 35, you be 30s when you come home. Imagine somebody sitting there telling you could do 15 years of your life like it's no problem. Not to mention at the age of 16, I had a daughter. So 2 years into that whole investigation, 2 years prior to me getting incarcerated, I had a daughter. I got incarcerated 10 days prior to her being her second birthday. So I got to miss out on a few years of her life. Second offer, I waited up a whole year. They tell me, here, take 10 years. You could do that, 10 years light, it's easy. But the F.E.D.S, the way they play, you get 3 strikes, and after that, they make you suit up and go to trial. If none of y'all know how the system works, once you go to trial, if you get found convicted, guilty of your crimes, they could sit there and hit you with max penalties and hit you with football numbers. So my third plea agreement after that, they told me take 5 years. It was either 5 years or I suit up and go to trial. And the way it was looking, it was I wouldn't be able to win in that trial situation. I sat there, took 5 years with 4 years paper. I'm only here in front of you guys today right now because COVID happened and there was a motion that granted me early release. I would still be sitting up right now, finishing out my sentence, and be coming home at the age of 23, starting off at 18. So the message I'm trying to relate to you guys is like the street life and all that stuff like that may look cool, sound cool, glorified and all that stuff like that, but it's not cool. I'm telling you firsthand, I've been in there, real life doing that stuff, you know what I'm saying? I've been there, I've been doing all of that. And it sound cool and it's all, you know what I'm saying? But you want to lose more than you gain with indulging in that type of lifestyle. I'm telling you that firsthand. You're going to lose more than you gain from indulging in that type of lifestyle. I lost a lot behind that. Time I can never get back. Time is precious. That's something that you could give anybody your time. You could spend time like this, but you don't know how much time you got left on that timer, you understand? So it's all about being conscious and being wise with the decisions you make, because a 5-minute instance of crime, or 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 60 seconds could get you life in prison. You understand? A quick disagreement and altercation with another individual could sit there and cost you a whole big portion of your life. And then you'll be sitting up. You may think the first few years you sitting there, all right, it's cool. You may think you did something for a justified reason, but then after a while, 5 years into it, 7 years into it, you start thinking like, hold on, I got another 15, 20 more to go. Was it really worth it for that little quick disagreement that you had with another individual? Was something you think of like a few minutes of words with conversing with somebody could have sat there and mediated a situation, but instead you jump the gun and you go off for impulse and reaction. You react off of emotion, not putting thought behind your actions. And now you're facing the consequences that come with that type of stuff. You know, I'm telling y'all, I've been on the other side of talks like this, and I never let it register. Sometimes I used to look at another person talking to me like this and let it go in one ear and out the other. And I didn't pay it no mind. You understand? Like, I'm telling you, for real, like, I used to not pay them no mind. Think like, he don't know what he's talking about. And I fell hard. I learned the hard way. The choices I made in my life could have sat there and cost me 15 to 10 years of my life. Easily. The dudes I was running with, the people I thought that was, everybody say, you know, they for you and they gonna hold you down. People forget about you once you go behind that wall. I'm telling you, you could look around your circle, you think that you running with a clique of solid, strong dudes and people that's with you, but they're gonna sit there and leave you for dead. That's 100% facts. They could sit there, not only that, y'all could conspire to commit a crime together. You think that this is your man's and y'all gonna sit there and take something and he's gonna hold it down to the grave. He'll sit there and sell you out easily for his freedom, which happened to me. Dudes that held my daughter sat there and told on me, on my case. You understand? So it's no honor amongst thieves. Y'all gotta sit there and just wake up and just look at it like it's okay to be doing the right thing. It's okay to be sitting there doing your thing at school, playing sports. Because when you step into that lane and that lifestyle and you think it's cool, you invested, it's never too young for them to sit there and take an eye and start watching you. You could look my case up, like I said, I'm a 2000 baby. My investigation started when I was 14 years old. The FBI was investigating me, so I was in high school just like y'all. Going to school at 14, 15, 16, they were watching me the whole time. You never think, you don't ever think you too smooth and too cool to sit there and stay under the radar with whatever you think you're doing. Because I thought that same thing. My whole time of flying under the radar, as so as I thought, I'd never been to juvenile facilities, Rikers Island, the Tombs Book, and any type of New York State facility that has to do with corrections. I went straight to the FBI, I went straight to F.E.D.S, federal facilities. And every prison I walked through, I was the youngest individual in them prisons. The worst prisons you could think of, the worst type of unimaginable things that happened in there. And it was not a pleasurable experience. All you do is you're gonna hurt those that love you around you. You're gonna see people that say, yeah, that's bro, they're gonna just post you up. Free bro, free that. And you're not gonna get $1 though. What's free bro gonna do for when it's come time for commissary now? You hungry. You either gonna settle for chow, the regular trash food they give you in there, you know what I'm saying? That's all they gonna do is use you for clout. Post you up, maybe make a t-shirt if your name is that something. And aside from that, you're gonna just be going with the wind, out of sight, out of mind. And none of that stuff that you did in the streets matters in the real world. All the stuff that I sat there and thought I was doing that meant something, when I came out, I couldn't apply none of that stuff and put that on a resume and go for a job with that. I can't be like, oh, right, hey, listen, I think I'm qualified for your job because I did this, that, and the third in the streets. You think a corporate business wants to hear that? You know what I'm saying? It don't count for nothing. It doesn't amount to anything that has to do with real life stuff. School, I know it may be a headache. You know, you may want to get it over with, but it's better to get it done with now and trying to sit there and think of outside the box. There's more to these four corners that you see around you. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the projects. So I used to always think that that's all I was going to see and all I was going to live throughout in my life. You understand? So it's more to just that. There's more to life than that. And it starts with here. Because this is the foundation. You may not see it now, but this is the path you need to take that's going to lead you to bigger and better opportunities that life has to offer. And I guarantee you'll think back one day like, hold on, Ben was right. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want you to be sitting there thinking back from a cell or, you know, God forbid where it's to get worse. Because I was told, even when I was in school, by teachers, that I wasn't going to make it to C16 the way I was living at 14 years old. I was told by people that used to sit there and overlook me and tell me that I wasn't going to make it to C18 in those years to come. And I'm blessed to see this age that I'm at now. You understand? I just want you guys to wake up if you guys are indulging in anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking it because, like I said, I was dead. You feel me? But it's really for you guys to wake up and really see that I'm a real life example sitting in front of you of what could happen to you if you do not wake up. If you choose not to sit there and make the right proper decisions. You know, that's most of it really, you know. I really gave y'all everything for real. Like,
appreciate you, bro. Give it up, bro. I brought Benji here. We just reunited a couple weeks ago, right? I'm walking my dog. I live in the Lower East Side. Once my son was born, I moved out of the Bronx. I live in the Lower now, like right by Soho. And I'm walking my dog, and delivery dude come up to me like, yo, what's good, Zo? So he got a mask on, so I just take a step back, like, try to figure out who he was, right? Mind you, I was 19 when I met him. I'm 29 now. It was a minute ago we met. And he's like, yo, Zo, what's good? We hug, we embrace each other, we chopping it up. And he take a step back. He's like, yo, Zo, I'm so sorry. I wish I listened to you. I wish I had took what you were saying more serious. And I'm talking about, like, I haven't seen him in 10 years, so I don't know what he's talking about. Like, what are you talking about, bro? He's like, yo, I just came home. So my heart dropped. Now, I can't believe one of my own, you know, we lost contact, and, you know, he went to jail. And mind you, I met him when he was so young. You know, when the last time I seen him, he was one of the best swimmers, one of the best athletes, and then body in Harlem. He was doing his thing. He had a promising future, and his life took a left. You know, so I'm gonna tell you guys my story next, but once he told me what he was doing, I spoke to Mada the next day, and I was like, listen, when I come, I'm gonna bring somebody with you. So there's a lot of people in this room that think that they tough, and that's cool and all, but that don't do nothing for you. You can't buy a house with that, can't buy a car with that. He told you everything he can't do. Now, I'm gonna show you, that's the streets, I'm gonna show you the sidewalks, right? Everything that I've done, right? Sliceofexcellence, some of you guys have, that was your old school I sent pizza to, right?
No, this school.
This school, right? So a couple people in this room got pizza already, right? To here, they had lunch. A couple people got pizza to their house. Right? Sliceofexcellence is my nonprofit. We trade report cards for pizza. Right? So we're gonna get to that point. But I'm gonna take you here and I'm gonna take you back. Right? So there's things that I've been through in my life that I was like, I never thought this would happen to me, right? First time I got jumped, I was 8 years old. And walking to the store for my mom. Whose mother always sending them to the store?
It's true.
Everybody, right?
It's true. I live in the
Going to the store, going to the supermarket, honey, like, yo, make a list, bro. Like, send me a list, and I'm gonna go one time. I'm going back and forth, back and forth. I'm with my little brother, we get stopped. You know the sandals with no socks. He had a rock in his shoe. So we stop. Next thing you know, I'm hemmed up against the gate. Dude put a knife to my neck. I'm 8 years old. Like, what do you do? Like, mama, nobody ever told you what to do in that situation. But here I am, figuring it out. Homie only let me go because my brother was hysterically crying. My little brother was 4 years old. And here I am. I can't protect myself, and I can't protect him. So listen, this is it. 8 years of life. That's what I thought in that moment. This is all I have to live, right? Cool. Fast forward, get out of that situation, they let us go, right? I'm 11 years old, walking to Food Bazaar. So I'm from 158 in Brook. There's a Food Bazaar over there in 161 by the movies, right? Now I'm walking over there. I was supposed to go by myself. If I went by myself, this wouldn't have happened, because I would have took the bus there and back, right? But it's like, cool, I'm a walk with my mans there, and then we're gonna take the bus back. My mother's never gonna know, because I only swiped the MetroCard twice. If I swiped it 4 times, we would have had a problem. She's never gonna know. Cool, we get to 161 in Park. If you ever been on the 6 bus, is where that little ramp is, right? Cool. We get there, we see like 15 dudes with like brooms and sticks and whatever, but the cops is right across the street. So you 11, right? What do they teach you? You see? The energy's in the room. So stay with me. So that's just the energy in the room. That's what that is, right? So what do they teach you what do they teach you the cops are meant for? Can somebody answer that question?
To protect you.
Say it louder.
To protect you.
Go ahead.
To protect you, like, if you ever in trouble, like, they're there for me.
Right? So the cops are there to protect you, they're there to keep you safe, yada, 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 right? So we were naive. We like, yo, we could just keep walking because the cops are right across the street. Wrong. They start pounding us. We getting jumped, getting our behinds whooped. Right? For nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is 2004. This is just the time, bro. Like, you walk into the wrong hood, you get jumped. That's just what happened. Right? Andre, I was never in the streets. I was just walking to some mother for my mother. We getting jumped. You know, we got out of there. We ran across the street to the cops. Cops was like, yo, my fault. We was on lunch break. So what happens to me? I lose my confidence in the police. Right? Because I'm like, yo, like, they told me your whole life, firefighters, they let fires out. You know, the ambulance, when you're sick, and the cops protect you, and everybody else has a job to service you. So I was like, you know what, man? Whatever, man. This is what life is. You know, it is what it is. So I'm going through life. All of this stuff is happening to me. 13 years old, I started playing baseball. And started getting nice, doing my thing. Boom. My mom sent me in the room. She's tearing. She's like, listen, I gotta sit down. I gotta talk to you. She's like, listen, I have breast cancer. Right? So I'm like, here we go again. You know, it's always stuff happening to me. You know, my mom is sick now. You know, she ended up, you know, battling it, but she made it through. Right? She persevered. It was a tough battle. I ended up going to O'Hallows High School. I went to O'Hallows. Anybody heard of O'Hallows? Right? So I went to O'Hallows. I was doing my thing there, playing baseball. I was an honor roll student. Everything was great. Then I met a man named Bill Mitchell. He was like, yo, I can help you go to boarding school. Now, mind you, I thought boarding school was a bad thing, you know, because you got sent away to school. Like, you must be a terrible student, a terrible person. But it didn't work out that way. It ended up being the best thing ever. So here I am. I got a baseball scholarship to go to Suffield Academy in Connecticut. It's a $45,000 high school, and I went there for free. Sponsored by Nike. They give you MacBooks for free. All of that, you know what I'm saying? So now life is taking a turn, right? I'm out the hood. I made it out. You know, so at 16, you know, that was my next hurdle. I've never been around white people. You know? So now I got to adjust to a world. Like, look, I was used to this. Everybody is familiar. Everybody's Latino, everybody's black, whatever, you know? This was comfort. This was the Bronx. Only white people we see is our teachers, really. You know? So that was my reality, you know? That's all I had been exposed to. But it was the best thing that happened to me because I learned how to be Lorenzo anywhere. Anywhere I go, I knew how to be myself. And I learned how to be appropriate. I learned how to dress for the occasion. You know, I learned how to tie, all of these great things that will help me in the future, right? So here I am in boarding school, 3-time first team on conference. I won a championship. We going to spring training in Florida. It's just a whole different world. Anybody here know the Patriots, New England Patriots? Anybody a football fan?
Oh yeah.
Who's the coach of the Patriots? Bill Belichick's son lived next door to me, right? One of the richest dudes I ever met. Right? This is the first time I found out that not every rich person was famous, right? They doctors, lawyers, hedge funds, stocks, you name it, they was doing it. And now, you know, now I got friends from Switzerland, from Bermuda, Bahamas, you know, and my world had opened up for me. So cool, now I go to college, right? Got a baseball scholarship. So now, next chapter of my life, I'm going to college. Now, academically, college was a great time. But baseball-wise, my whole baseball career was nowhere to be found. I just told you I was at the top when I was in high school. And then all of a sudden, I go to college, and everything went downhill, right? I had 2 knee surgeries in college, and I had a racist coach. I had a guy who just hated me, bro. He hated all the Spanish and black players. He was not nice to us at all. You know what I'm saying? He would mess with us, you know? So in that moment, I was like, you know what? I just got to take my academic serious. I still have the opportunity to go to school. So I got to keep on doing what I need to do for my future. So that's what I focused on. I was no longer focused on being a baseball player. I was trying to be the academic guy, you know, the guy to get my degree and things that were going to help me for my future. So cool. I ended up graduating in 2015. Everything went well. I'm coaching baseball. I'm living my life. I ended up going to trying to get my master's. So I went to City College for a year to a graduate program, right? That was a tough year, right? I shouldn't have went to grad school that year because in my 3 months before I graduated college, my father died. So here we go again, right? Another tough moment in my life. I went from getting jumped as a kid, almost losing my mother. Boarding school was a great time. College was another battle where I had to learn myself, and boom, my dad died. Right? So now I'm 22 years old. Dad's gone. You gotta keep going because life doesn't stop you. And you see, he says we don't have time. So we gotta keep going because life is not gonna stop for us. So cool. I go to grad school. Things are going well. I fail out. I ended up going to Washington, D.C. to do an internship for Jumpstart. Pre-K3 is a program that they have now where 3-year-olds get to go to school. And I was in one of the first programs that offered that in Washington, D.C. 2017, I won Coach of the Year, right? I was coaching baseball in New York City for the New York Bulldogs, and I won Coach of the Year. The following year is when I signed a professional contract to go play baseball in Europe. So now I was really up, because now I was no longer in America. I was in Austria, right next to Germany, and I got to play baseball there, you know? And like I told you, it's the complete opposite of my brother's story. If I show you how life continues, you do the right thing, and you listen to people like Mara, and you help them, your teachers, your mentors, your counselors. Everybody here has an opportunity to do something great with themselves, right? But it's about you respecting yourself, respecting your teachers, and respecting the people around you, right? Because that's what's going to take you further in life, right? And it's not Benji's fault. You know, I could have ended up just like him. I was in the same environment, but I just made different decisions, right? So this is what's going left is, and this is what's going right is, right? Right takes a little longer, right? I wasn't getting money when I was a teenager and things like that, but I'm getting money now when it matters. Do I own a car? Yes. I live in the Lower East Side. I take trips. My son is good. My family's good. I'm the president of a foundation. My podcast is about to start making money. You know, these are all positive things that I'm doing legally, right? So all of this ends up happening to me, and now 2020, my son is born. You know, I'm teaching at Success Academy. That wasn't the greatest place for me. It didn't work out, but at Success Academy is when I invented Sliceofexcellence, right? It was a pandemic. What are we doing? How do we motivate our students? How do we do what we need to do? You know what I'm saying? So I started sending my students pizza. Whoever gets the highest test score gets pizza to the crib. Cool. First kid did it, sent the pizza to his house. His name is Aiden. Right? He was in 2nd grade. I was a 2nd grade teacher that year. So now my attendance is up, kids are motivated, everything is going well. I started posting it on Instagram, social media. Next thing you know, people start sending me money. How do I sponsor a kid? How could I help this kid? How could I help that kid? All right, cool. Now I'm taking all this money from everybody. I'm spending it on pizza, but now I gotta be legit. So what's that? I gotta turn it into a 501c3. 501c3 is a tax exempt company, right? I'm pretty sure this school is probably a 501c3. Right, that are able to receive donations in order to operate, right? So now I'm legit. I got my papers, I'm tax exempt, I could go places and buy things, they don't charge me tax. I'm able to help kids, like all this pizza here, Sliceofexcellence. I got it all on the app, thousands of dollars in the account, and all through the help and the grace of my community, right? So notice, everything happened to me right here in the South Bronx. I never left. All the bad things that happened to me, I just kept going, and I found ways to reinvent myself and keep going. So right now, you may not see your home situation may be tough. You may not have a great relationship with your parents. You may have a single parent. You know what I'm saying? Some of you may be being raised by your grandparents, right? You may be losing hope, right? So Sliceofexcellence is to keep hope alive, to keep faith alive, to keep you believing in yourself. Because somebody from where you from came back. Right? I couldn't find a babysitter, so I brought my son with me. That's how important this was to me, right? I'm not gonna say how I got out of work, but just know I got out of work. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I did it because this is important. Mada is important to me. You guys are important to me because you guys are black and brown just like me. And I want you guys to keep hope alive. And I want you guys to see that a lot of great things can happen to you even though you're not in the best neighborhood, right? Even though you may not be in the best circumstances. And you may face a lot of adversity every day just to get to school or go home from school. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys feel like you gotta be tough and you got something to prove. But what is that gonna get you in the long run? When I found out that Benji went to jail, I was shocked. Because that wasn't the kid that I met when I was 19 years old. But look at that, I was 19 telling kids, stay out the streets. Yo, you could go to college like me. Yo, you could play baseball, you could get a scholarship. You could work at a camp, you could do all these great things if you just be yourself and stay to the side. Obviously, he got sucked in by the system. And a lot of that is not even his fault, because that's what it's meant to be like. You know, it's meant to say bad schools and bad neighborhoods with lack of resources. But this is where you have to value yourself and value your education and do something for yourself, right? So before we close, I just want to teach you guys a little bit about stocks. Anybody know anything about stocks? Go ahead, what you know? Tell me your name, tell me what you know.
My name is Alan.
Uh-huh.
I don't really know that much, but I know about like crypto, Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, all right, so you know cryptocurrency. Who else ain't? Go ahead, bro.
Well, basically, stocks like 1% of a company. You get money, like a percent of money of what they make. So,
Tell me your name, bro.
Jose,
good to meet you, bro. Zoe. Anybody else? Go ahead, bro.
Basically, you just invest like your money into different businesses, and then whatever they make, they give it to you.
Yeah.
But it's like a certain way. They have to be a certain age. And
Yeah, that's facts. But it's things that y'all can do. Go ahead, bro. Tell me your name. NFTs, yeah. So NFTs, crypto, Bitcoin, all that. Tell me, bro. Tell me your name.
It's easy. It's investing into a percentage of a company.
That's a fact. So investing into a percentage of a company, that's a great definition, right? So I got into stocks about 4 years ago, 2018, and I'm very lucky because my friends from boarding school, you know, they speak a different language. So they've been exposed to different things, right? Their fathers do stocks, hedge funds, they invested in Google in 2000s and Microsoft, all of these things, and they rich off something that they did in the past. So imagine, right? Izzy got Balenciagas on, right? Interestingly enough, yesterday, I just looked this up, right? There's a stock, it's called Caring SA, right? The ticker is KER. You can look it up on Yahoo Finance, right? Now, this is the stock that owns a lot of luxury companies like Gucci, Balenciaga, Bottega, all that, right? And in 1985, that stock was worth $31. In 1998, it was worth $850. So imagine if you took $1,000 and bought at $31, how much money you would have and all of those shares. Can somebody tell me 1,000 divided by 31? Really quick. Tell me? 32, all right? So times 32 by 850. 32 times 850.
That's 32 shares.
Yeah, it's 32 shares, facts.
2,027.
That's how much money we have.
Hold on.
27,200.
Right? So your $1,000 would have turned into $27,000. Right? Just like that. Right? Now, mind you, money is not really the issue because we're going to spend the money because we value being fly. We got to look good. We got to be like Izzy, right? You got to be fly. You know what I'm saying? You got to look good when you come to school. You got to have all the drip and all that, right? But imagine if we put a little bit of money aside in the stock market, right? Who here likes Chipotle? It's all right, whatever, right? How much you think Chipotle stock is worth?
$10.
Just guess it. $10? Nope.
I think it's like 1,000.
Yeah, right? Keep going, right? You right.
500.
Yeah, right? Chipotle stock is worth $1,500, $1,500, right? Now, during the pandemic, it went down to $450. So you could have tripled, quadrupled your money in a little bit of time, right? So that's what I want you guys to start focusing on. Where could you put your money? Everybody here owns a pair of Nikes, right? Nike's a publicly traded company. Everybody got Yeezys, right? That's owned by Adidas. That's a publicly traded company, right? These are things that we can own and we can be a part of and we let our money grow. Is what up?
I invested in a stock called Lucid. It's an electric car that's expanding and it just came out.
That's fire, right? So he said he just invested in an electric car company, right? Gas prices is mad high right now, right? So it's nice to have an electric car, right? It's nice to be investing in it, putting your money into things that are going to help you grow. Who knows what? Go ahead. You used to have Tesla, and what happened? You sold it. You wow.
Isn't everything about to go electric soon?
Right? He listen. He's young. So what you need the money for? Huh? You wanted clothes? You see? Didn't I just say that? He wanted to be fly. He sold it. Now imagine, right? You hold that until you go to college. Maybe you could buy yourself some things to go to college and take care of yourself, right? These are things that we want to be thinking about, right? You young, but you're going to be older someday. You're going to have kids. You're going to want to buy a house. You're going to have responsibilities that you want to have money for, right? Who knows what Moderna is? Tell me what Moderna is. Vaccine. Who knows what Moderna is? So Moderna is the vaccine, right? So when you could get it vaccinated, right, you could have got the Moderna shot, the Pfizer shot, or the Johnson & Johnson shot. So imagine this, right? Moderna came out in 2018, right? Moderna was only $14, right? The pandemic happened, and it went up to $450. So if you put $1,000 in Moderna in 2018, in 2021, you could have had $31,000. Just like that. This is information that we may not always learn, or they really not teaching financial literacy like that. But I'm trying to put y'all on. So I'm trying to use my story and my organization to uplift our community, right? Lastly, my podcast, right? Conversations with Zopodcast. I've been doing this since 2018 and put something positive back in the community. Once again, doing for my community, for people who look just like me, right? And I've been able to do things, and I'm at about 844 subscribers, right? So at 1,000, they say I could monetize. So that means I'm gonna get some YouTube money, right? So that's gonna happen soon. But this is what I have to do first. I gotta turn my podcast into an LLC. What's an LLC? A company, right? So my podcast has to be a company in order for me to get sponsorships and partnerships. And if I want to be a Bel Air boy or whatever it is, I gotta have a company first. Right? So now I'm in the process of doing that. So once again, a lot of positive things can happen to you even though you may be in a negative environment or an environment where you feel that there's not much hope left, right? So my vision for you guys is to inspire you and to keep hope alive and to do my best to be a resource for you. So hopefully my organization starts to grow. Hopefully I can give away some college money, give you a little $1,000 to go to school and help you, you know. Hopefully in September, we're working on a sniped deal, so hopefully we can give away some sneakers for back to school. You know what I'm saying? Backpacks are cool, but everybody wants fly sneakers too, right? So I'm trying to use my organization to do every little thing that I can to help you guys, right? Stockroom is owned by one of my homies in Jersey. I don't know if y'all know what Stockroom is, but they do sneakers, right? And they're gonna do a giveaway, 2 sneakers to this school, right? So dunks, they only do fly, you know the word. So, you know, hopefully 2 lucky students are gonna be able to win a pair of dunks or Yeezys or whatever it may be. But they definitely gonna give away up the strength of Sliceofexcellence, and they definitely gonna do a lot of great things. So we're gonna leave it up for questions, but thank you so much for your time.
Let's take the shades off.
Love.
Come on, man.
Sitting there slowing down, things like, I was out there bugging out. What business I had doing and shit. Instead of being in class and stuff, why am I playing the block?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like deeper than just trying to be cool. I was real like that. Like I said, I'm confined to one room where like so I'm trying to like I said, I was
no, you hit me. You hit me.
I said, yo, it was times like see they be bugging like, yo, when is it over? I don't even know when I'm going home. I had literally dudes telling me, yo, sure, you gonna be here till you like 30.
She's asking the wrong question.
Yeah, you know we here, AECI 2 in the Bronx, over here on 169 in Grand Concourse. You know, we came to tell a story of positivity and hope. You know what I'm saying? I got my son with me. You know, he's a sign of hope, Benji's Maine. And I'm super proud of Sliceofexcellence. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you donate. You know, let's support our youth, man. They need our help more than ever.
Like, comment, subscribe, you know, and trying to help the young brothers out here, you know, because a lot of them are misguided. All they need is some proper guidance and some structure in their life, you know, and the right resources and tools and stuff that'll take them far instead of keeping them boxed in and fitting the stereotypical, you know, life that they want us to live.
Well, bro. Yes, sir.